All right, folks. So something very interesting is happening with the price of silver on the Shanghai Metals Exchange versus the COMEX. But we shouldn't be too surprised about this. We actually saw this coming. Check this out. So Alex Jones recently tweeted, "Alert, China's exposure of silver naked short selling could bring down major US banks." So China is playing chess and we are trying to play Chinese checkers. We're in two completely different fields, and this is going to affect us, as Alex Jones mentioned, could bring down major US banks. But this isn't the first time Alex Jones has mentioned silver.
They are trading hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. Usually it's about 200 times the amount of paper silver that there actually is real silver in the world, and they use that to manipulate the price and hold it down anytime it starts going up, because then they can dump limited amounts of their paper silver, and it creates the illusion that silver actually doesn't have value, when really silver is hundreds of times more valued than what it really is. You understand? It's a real, tangible commodity that's used in construction, that's used in electronics, that's used in microchips. It's been valued for over 6,000 years. Same thing with gold. So Max Kaiser came on my show 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago. I'm trying to get him on next week, and he hammered the point that if people simply start demanding physical delivery of silver in the market with their trades, that it will bankrupt JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. All of them will go down, because the amount that they're leveraged against silver is, again, hundreds and hundreds of times bigger conservatively what GameStop is.
So what he's been saying is spot on. This is exactly what's happening, and we're going to talk about that in this video. 15% arbitrage. Silver futures up to $34.38 in Shanghai, while the West silver spot price is $29.76. This was written 2 days ago, representing a 15% spread. Arbitrage play. They go into the paper to physical silver ratio on the COMEX, like Alex Jones was mentioning. This is how they suppress the price. But this isn't the only article we're going to be talking about. We have another article. Will silver hit $50 in June? Here's why China matters. Now, this article was posted at the beginning of the month, June 6th. The question in the beginning is irrelevant. I don't even know why they threw that number out there. The whole point, though, is why China matters. The second part of this, why China has such a massive influence on the price of silver. So we're going to go into both of these. They go hand in hand since they're both mentioning China. Remember, folks, I post daily silver videos, so if you want to subscribe, always be kept in the loop, make sure you do so. So let's jump straight into this. Daily Silver Report, or the report for June 21st. $34.14 silver price Shanghai. In the West, silver spot price is $29.76, representing a 15% spread. It's arbitrage play. So Shanghai requires physical silver to deposit. COMEX paper transacts. And here's the thing, right? You have to deposit physical silver into and gold into Shanghai, where COMEX, that's not the case. So the Shanghai price versus the US price, and that's the percentage of arbitrage. Shanghai price, $34.14. US paper price, $29.76, which is a 14.72% arbitrage. Look at the paper to physical ratio on the COMEX. The total silver volume was 173,343 contracts traded yesterday. This is a total of 865 million paper ounces traded in one day. That's more than the yearly world production in one day, right? Think about that. On a good year, we will produce around 850 million ounces on a good year, where global demand is 1.21 billion ounces. They're predicting it could be up to 1.4 billion ounces this year, maybe more, especially given that the numbers are extremely undervalued, since the Silver Institute doesn't even incorporate some of the biggest sectors like military and aerospace. Regardless, though, that's a lot. That's a lot of silver. Do you think all of those paper ounces traded in one day are backed by physical ounces? No, not even close, not even by a long shot. And that's how they do it, folks. Other events, or we can look at this. You can go in and look at this yourself. It shows, right? And here's the receipts, folks. I mean, this stuff is not being made up. You can go on the CME group and you can look at this yourself. You can go, I highly recommend going and looking at Shanghai's silver price, because it's much different now. And I feel like the gap is going to continue to grow farther apart, exposing the corruption that the West is doing, while China and these other countries get it for cheap and allow it to naturally rise, as we all know it will, except we're pretending that it won't, or that this is silver's price living in la la land, while, the biggest, most corrupt banks in the world are the ones that are in control of the COMEX, like JP Morgan. I mean, it's not a conspiracy. This is not speculation. At this point, it's just damn near fact. I mean, you cannot deny this. Silver's price is being suppressed, and now other countries are taking advantage of it, forcing our hand, which in return is going to bite us in the butt. At least you and I can still get it for cheap while they're doing this, though, where most people are going to be buying silver when it's already $50, $100+. They'll jump on after the explosion, right? Most people do that with any investment. Most people buy Bitcoin after it exploded. They don't buy it beforehand, mostly because they didn't know about Bitcoin beforehand. At least we do know about silver beforehand. So here's some other events. Thailand has applied to join BRICS. Russia's making friends with all the countries U.S. has alienated. The U.S. may existing home sales fall by 0.7%. Summer's always hot for housing, but instead it's getting cold. Okay, just wait until fall and winter appears to be trending towards a crash. So yeah, there you have it. With that, let's go into this article that was posted earlier this month, June 6th. Will silver at $50 in June? Here's why China matters. This is interesting. I'm curious. Remember, folks, don't look at the question too much. It's the main point of me showing this article is talking about China's influence on the price of silver, especially given what we're seeing now with the Shanghai exchange. So Chen Lin, a fund manager and known precious metals investor, highlighted the significance of silver's recent performance in a recent interview with Jeremy, an anchor at Kitco News. Actually, let's move up here real quick to see what this was about. Silver's recent surge past $30 an ounce has the market buzzing, with some traders predicting it could hit $50 per ounce soon. This bullish momentum is driven by technical breakthroughs and strong demand dynamics, particularly from China. And yeah, but remember, folks, it's not going to hit $50 this month. You don't want it to, and it shouldn't. Don't expect it to. Anyone who says otherwise, I would be very careful listening to them, because there are a lot of silver pumpers out there. I try to detach myself the farthest possible from ever even seeming like a silver pumper, because that is extremely dangerous. And if anyone calls me a silver pumper, then they should probably actually watch my videos, because I am very, very realistic on my thoughts of what silver's going to do. I'm actually probably one of the more modest, bearish people in terms of silver's short to medium term pricing. There's some people that are genuinely saying silver will hit $100 by the end of the year. I don't think it should, and I don't think it could. I mean, of course, we're living in crazy times, but that wouldn't be a good thing if we would want silver to stay higher. If you've ever heard me speak about my prediction of silver, I always say that I think triple digits could happen by the year 2026, late 2025, 2026. I think by then the economy will be in a more detrimental spot, where the silver shortage, or I guess the lack of silver, especially given the industrial side of things, would be able to actually affect the price. Right now, we're just not there yet. The Green New Deal, we're starting to get there. People like Elon Musk, that he's a mascot to describe the types of industrial damage a silver shortage could face, or even incorporating this with the dollar. Like I've asked a question in a few videos ago. You either think that the dollar is going to survive or silver will. They both cannot survive or fall together. We all know that there's a direct negative correlation with the dollar index and silver and gold. When the dollar index is high, gold and silver is lower, and vice versa. We all know the inevitable collapse of the dollar is going to happen at some point. And since we know that's going to happen, that's damn near enough guarantee to show you that silver will come on top. It's just we have to wait for the dollar to fall, not necessarily wait for that to happen itself, but those are some very strong indicators that silver eventually will come out on top. Anyone who's thinking the dollar will survive and the dollar is going to be the thing that lasts for the next 5, 10, 15 years, I don't know what data you're looking at, or I don't know what type of faith you have in the system, but every fiat-based system lasts only around a century. They are all designed to fail. They are literally designed to fail, especially when we got rid of the gold standard. Once that happens, silver will shine. I always mention silver stackers will get the last laugh. So anyways, let's keep moving on. Sorry, it's raining very hard here, and hopefully you don't hear it too much. So, okay, so let's look at this. So, as of today, June 6th, 2024, silver is priced at $31.23 an ounce. Lynn explains silver broke $30 a few weeks ago and has been staying above that level, which is very important. Historically, once silver clears the $30 mark and retests, it often rallies quickly to 50. And why is he saying that? Well, it's because that's what happened last time. Last time silver broke above 30, on the way to 32, 33, it shot to $50 very quickly, right? Last time was in 2011 when silver broke past the 30, 33, all the way up to 50. We haven't seen that happen since then. We broke past 12-year highs. And so it's a lot easier to go higher and a lot harder to go lower, where beforehand it was a lot harder to go higher and a lot easier to go lower since we would bounce back down from that $30 resistance. Now we're sitting comfortably above it. So the chance of a spark happening and pushing it higher is a lot more realistic nowadays than, let's say, before in early February 2021 or any of the other times. So China's influence and demand surge. China's influence on the silver market is significant. The Shanghai Futures Exchange reports that silver stockpiles are at 10-year lows, and the current trend suggests they could be depleted by the end of the year. Shen Lin points out, quote, China's silver stock is dropping like a rock. This, coupled with the consistent 10% premium on Shanghai silver over New York prices for the past 2 months, indicates strong buying interest, end quote, which is what we just showed in the last article. This surge in Chinese demand mirrors what is seen with gold last year. Lin explains last September, Chinese investors began buying gold aggressively, leading to a significant premium in Shanghai. Now, we're seeing a similar trend starting with silver, indicating massive transfers of silver from the west to the east. Reports confirm Shanghai's silver inventories have declined dramatically, reflecting a robust domestic consumption and investment demand. And, you know, this is just the beginning, folks. We knew that China was focusing more on gold last year. Now they have shifted their focus to silver. You also have India buying more silver in the first 4 months of this year than the entirety of last year. I mean, we're seeing a lot of countries, a lot of the most powerful countries joining the BRICS, the banks, the most wealthy billionaires, all buying a whole bunch of silver. Why, though? It's like they know something. If the smartest, wealthiest, most powerful people are all buying something and choosing to get into something, there's a reason why. We all know the reason, but a lot of times people will second guess themselves and just think that I chose silver out of, you know, pulling assets out of a hat. I threw in there Bitcoin, I threw in silver, gold, I threw in copper, I threw in some stocks. I just swished my hand around in that hat and I just picked a random asset, silver. Okay, this is the one I'm going to go for. No, there's reasons why. There's some very, very, very evident reasons why I'm choosing to invest into silver. You don't have to. You don't, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just reading this article and throwing my 2 cents on top of the information the article is giving. And all this information is mentioning China now focusing on silver. Not me, China, well, and me. But anyway, I feel like sometimes people forget that. Like, people will hear me read these articles. People sometimes think I'm the one that wrote the article because I'm the one talking over it. No, folks, I'm covering articles of other people's opinions and cases and data and, you know, and work every single day that's talking about this. It's not me saying this. So that should even show further of why and how much potential silver truly does have. So global, or here's the supply and demand dynamics, which is, you know, something to take a look at. The global silver market is currently experiencing a substantial supply-demand gap. Industrial demand for silver, especially in sectors like solar energy, is skyrocketing. Lin elaborates, quote, the deficit in silver supply is reminiscent of the 1950s. We are seeing historical deficit in silver similar to the period when the United States stopped minting silver coins due to a shortage. So yeah, that's a, you know, we don't even got to go into that rabbit hole, but yeah, they started outsourcing. They don't create the coins in United States anymore. They source them from they source their planchets from mints like Sunshine Mint now. According to the Silver Institute, the silver deficit is projected to exceed 300 million ounces this year. This is largely driven by solar panel industry. Did you hear that? The deficit is expected to is projected to exceed 300 million ounces this year, where the last 3 years alone, we've exceeded over 500 million ounces in the red. This year alone, they're saying the deficit is projected to exceed 300 million ounces. Or no, are they saying like over a specific time? Let's keep moving on. Let's read. So this is largely driven by solar panel industry, which seen a massive increase in silver consumption. And by the way, solar panels are actually going to use more silver now because the N-type solar cells that they are using that are more efficient in today's solar panels actually use more silver. So they're not trying to push efficiency with minimizing the amount of silver. If it takes more silver to make the solar panels more efficient, they're going to do so. So more silver is going to be even used than previous. So 2 years ago, the industry used about 100 million ounces of silver. Last year was around 200 million, and this year is projected to surpass 300 million. Wow. So they're talking about this year alone. So yeah, wow. That means like 800 million ounces of a deficit in the red in like the last 4 or 5 years. That's insane. And I'm sure by next year, it's probably going to be 400 million ounces in the red for that year. So people saying the silver shortage isn't real, you're crazy, right? The numbers, I mean, the data is right in front of you. This situation is exacerbated by robust investment demand and industrial applications such as an AI-driven data centers requiring significant copper and silver inputs. China's role is particularly crucial as the country ramps up its acquisition of these metals to support its technological and industrial advancements. So yeah, there we have it, folks. I mean, you guys can go watch this interview. It's on Kitco News, titled, "Will Silver Hit $50 in June? Here's Why China Matters." So yeah, right now you have China with 15% arbitrage, with silver's price roughly $29.76. Let's see what it actually is right now. So right now silver is $29.45, and Shanghai, I don't know exactly what that is, but yeah, we're seeing a situation where the prices are gapping farther and farther away, and I feel like that's going to continue as our suppression gets exposed. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, because I post daily videos. If you wanted to purchase silver, email me, slayer@milesfranklin.com, or call me 330-485-6172. Hook you up. Got some good deals right now. Kilo bars, $1.79 over spot. We have, 10-ounce bars, low as $2.25 over spot. We have the Buffalo rounds, $2.35 over spot. Anything and everything you could think of, we have it for a good price. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.